Hey everybody, welcome to week 5 of pregnancy. I'm going to go over week 5 and then part of week 6. So week 5 was pretty much like the week before that. I still had waves of nausea, nothing too bad. I was getting way more heartburn though, I noticed. I usually don't have any heartburn unless like I have something really spicy or something like that. But I noticed a couple times this week I had heartburn. So I know that that's normal. I also had less pressure in my uterus than I'd had the week before. I think that's starting to go away. I still get like little twinges and things like that. Yesterday, I had gone for my ultrasound. The day before, I went for my blood work. I didn't want to have to go into work early, which is normally what I do. I get up early and go in early and go to the lab, get my blood work, and then go to work since I work at a hospital. But I didn't really want to do that, so I ended up going the night before in the afternoon. I knew I wouldn't get my results that night, but I got them yesterday. So they checked my progesterone, my estrogen, and my HCG. HCG was up to, I don't have the actual numbers right in front of me. HCG was up to like 3,500 something. Progesterone was at 26 point something, and my estrogen was at 4,000 something. So everything looked really good. So after that, I had my ultrasound yesterday afternoon. Just to preface this a little bit, I had done some research before in regards to my lower HCG numbers starting out, because with Nate, they started out at like, I want to say 89, and this, they started out with like 20. But with frozen embryo transfers, everything tends to be slower and tends to be lower. So my HCG has always doubled like it's supposed to, more than doubled. And so that's really what they look for. So everything's fine. But when I did the ultrasound yesterday, first of all, when I was going through infertility stuff with Nate, they had one specific girl that would do the ultrasounds. She was like a fertility specialist. I mean, that's what she did. She worked with the fertility doctor. So she was very experienced in what she did. And I never had any trouble with her. She never had any issues, even when I was doing all the fertility stuff to get my lining, to look at my uterus, to look at my ovaries, all that. It was all, she always never had a problem. These other girls do. These other girls, because I'm heavier, they have a hard time, and they always do. And so they just don't have the experience that she had. So yesterday when I went for my ultrasound, the girl had a really hard time finding. I was very nervous at first because when I went there, I saw the the black circle that I could, but it looked empty to me, and it made me very, very nervous. But she then said that she saw a heartbeat, and then as I looked, I could see it too. But with Nate, everything was very, very clear. But also with Nate, I was 6 days later as well. But this is basically, there's a little bit of a glare, but it's just not. Oh, there's a lot of a glare. Sorry, it's just not as clear as it was with Nate. But again, I'm a lot earlier, and she could see the heartbeat, and she measured the heartbeat. It was 110 beats per minute, which for as early as I am, that is perfectly normal. And again, she couldn't get a super clear picture to measure really good at. So the measurement that she got was 5 weeks and 5 days one time, and 5 weeks and 6 days the other. So that measured like a day or 2 days behind, which again doesn't really alarm me, because with frozen embryo transfers, I've seen people say that they measure anywhere from like on time all the way to like 3 days behind, just because of, for whatever reason. So I'm not too worried about that. I met with the doctor. And again, this is the fertility doctor, not like an OB. Fertility OB doctor. She said everything looked really good. She talked to me about going to, which OB I wanted to go to. And for those of you who are newer to my channel, I had major issues with Nate's fertility doctor, or with Nate's OB. We really got into it a lot, and she asked if I wanted to go see him again, because that was right in the same office. I said, I don't know, I need to talk to my husband a little bit about it. The nice thing about staying with that office is that it is in the hospital where I work. So to go to ultrasounds or appointments or whatever would be very convenient. I wouldn't have to miss a lot of time from work, and it would just be very, very convenient. To go anywhere else would be hard, because parking at the hospital is a nightmare. And so once I'm there, I get there early enough where I can find a decent place to park. But to leave and come back is going to be a nightmare. So I don't know. Those are all things I need to think about. And so she asked me, she wants me to come back in 2 weeks. I'm going to do another ultrasound. And she asked me if I wanted to see an OB then or if I wanted to see them again. I said, let me see you guys again. And then, because this is like she's a PA, I guess, a physician's assistant or a nurse practitioner. I don't know, one or the other. But she said, that I could see them one more time and then I'd have to make a decision. So I have to decide. But seeing the heartbeat was a huge relief. And what she kind of pointed out to me, and what she did is she had me hold my breath to make sure the flicker wasn't from me. But she said it definitely was the baby. And she said that when it's picking up your own heartbeat or something, it looks different than it looks when it's the baby. So I'm very excited to go back. And the baby will be a little bit bigger then, so I should be able to see something. So very, very excited about that. We have started to make a couple decisions. We got a crib, which is odd because, not really odd, but with Nate, we waited till much later, further along, to make really big purchases, especially because we're kind of in the same boat as we were with Nate. We don't really have a place for this baby. With Nate's room, and again, those of you that don't know, and I'll try to link everything below, we are remodeling our house, so Nate's room had to obviously be pushed ahead, and we had to start with that. This baby's going to be the same way. We have to remodel the room. So there's not a ton of place to store things, but I got a really good deal on a crib, so I went ahead and got it. So we're just starting to try to get our thoughts organized because I want to try to catch some really great deals. With Nate, things were a little easier financially just because of where we were at. We had no kids at the time, so we had a lot more money to kind of play with. This time around, since we have Nate, and we're kind of taking care of 2 properties, and we have lots of things in the works, we have a little less money to play with, so we have to kind of be smart about what we're doing. And plus, I am majorly into being frugal and, getting a good deal. I love all that. So, and I have, 9 months to finagle things and look for really good deals. So that's what I'm doing. So, it is unseasonably warm here, which is really kind of weird. It's Christmas Eve, and normally at this time of year, we'd be bundled up and it'd be freezing cold, but it's like 66 degrees here, which is just, it's craziness, and it's so weird. We have our windows open right now just because I'm one of those people that loves having windows open, loves to air out the house and get fresh air flowing. So we have our windows open right now, which is just totally weird. But that is that. Nothing else really to report. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So sooner than later, I will try to do, because we're really going to get going on the room like ASAP, because with life and the way things are, it's just crazy. I will do like a before video just like I did with Nate so that you guys can see where everything is, and we'll take you along for the whole construction process. I hope everyone has a very, very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.